Hello everybody, welcome back. Closing out the week with Jet 4 time here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Pretty weak field, probably just because of the time it is in the week. So, I don't know, I practice for long runs trying to be prepared in case that would happen, that I wouldn't die or kill myself in the car. I don't know if it's actually going to work or not. We could have a bunch of cautions. It could end up being like Richmond, or it could be decent. No idea. So, rolling off 13th, car number 9. Honestly, a top 15 I'll be thrilled to death with. For whatever reason, the 24 paint is not loading. I don't know why, so we might have that white car all race to deal with. But biggest goal for me is just to try not to drive it too hard. I don't want to overdrive it off the corners.
Get ready.
Don't want to really slide the tires more than I have to. And make sure I can actually get into turn 3 okay.
Go.
I've been struggling with that in practice.
You got one right side.
Tires spun them a little bit
They're
there.
outside.
Looks like the 15 might have done the same thing on the outside. So we're just going to try to survive
Full course
this lap, and somebody's already died behind us. So there's your cautions already.
This car is out. Line up single file behind
Looks
Alexander.
like you can
We're
see
under
some
caution.
smoke back
It's
at the middle
closed.
of 1 and 2, so can't even get a lap in. I'm really hoping this is not more caution filled than Richmond was. The bright side is if I keep it clean, I can stand to gain more safety rating out of this than I would have out of Richmond, which should be nice. Yeah, I think this is either going to be, people can sort it out a halfway decent race, but I really got a feeling, given the strength of field and some of the iRatings in here, that it could end up being pretty caution-filled. Especially if we get a run that's like 20 laps or longer. If you hit the throttle too hard, it's really, really bad off the corners. It's a loose setup to begin with, and it's Gen 4, so it's even worse. But
It's
I don't
open.
know, this car's kind of felt like my new super late model, that if I can figure out how to drive this well, control the throttle, the rotation, and tire save, that almost every other car should feel even easier to drive. So just to survive this one today, and like I said, if I could somehow finish top half of the field, that's still 15th would still probably lose me iRating depending on who's in front, but anything like that, and I will definitely consider this race to be a success. Everybody's doubling up already for some reason. I don't know why we're...
Pace car is out.
Whatever.
Pits
I'm
are
just going to
closed.
ride in the middle for now. We'll be going green 2 laps. So yeah, based on this, we could technically go the whole race on fuel. It depends on how many cautions we get. We can do probably around 45 laps or so on a full fuel run. It kind of fell off pretty hard after about 25, 30 laps or so, and it kind of stabilized after that. I also was not driving very well in my practice session. I feel like I could have put 20 or 25 hours of practice in just this week for this, and still not have felt anywhere near like what my full potential could be. So we'll see. So yeah, I mean, depending on how the cautions fall, I could see me trying to pit around lap 36 or so if we get a ton of them, and then trying to go the rest of the way without it. If
We're under
we can
caution.
actually get a
Pits are
green flag
closed.
run, I'm probably just going to split it in half, coming around 40, 41, somewhere around there, depending on when everybody around me comes in, because if they all come in early, I'm not going to stay out and give up all that time, but I'll kind of force my hand. But reasonably, I think with 2 sets of tires, yeah, so I got to go roughly 27 laps on a set of tires if we're trying to split it into even thirds.
Okay, Jake. Get ready. Race will resume at the end of this lap.
So pick up a couple spots off of the initial start, just due to a couple of the cars struggling with getting going. So let's try to watch, make sure I don't spin the tires again. They're still going to be cold. So don't want to spin it, loop it, and wreck it. Ever, but really not really. And 24, I think, is still not updating. I don't know. There's an all-white car back there, but not sure what's going on. Trading paints seem to take really long to load for whatever reason in this, but still got a bunch of cars to catch up to the field. It looks like the majority of paints are loaded, which is fine. If anybody lapped down, I think all three of those cars dropped out. One of them was ahead of me in iRacing, so I guess that's kind of beneficial. Yeah, Bristol is up next for this. I have not determined whether or not I want to run Bristol. I feel like it could be even worse than Richmond was. I don't know, we'll see. Get ready to go, though. Said, just keep the tires underneath me, especially the right rear.
Green flag.
See the
Right side.
20 spun the tires there, got a little loose.
He's still there. Keep digging.
23 to my outside, almost clear of them. Alright, clear off of 2, so staying 11th, no big deal. Just kind of tiptoeing my way around. Tend to overdrive the entries into 3. And I got a feeling I'm going to be really slow compared to everybody up front, so
The leader has just done a 32.
it's just
126.
about surviving. And we get another caution.
Full course caution.
At least we got basically a lap in.
We're under caution.
Right.
Pits are
It's
closed.
gonna be that kind of
See,
race.
Heart has gone off. Race car's out. Line up
Yeah,
single
I was
file behind
worried when I
car
saw the strength of
15.
field and some of the drivers in here that it was going to be like this.
Might not even have to stop for fuel if we keep going under caution.
Well, they keep quitting out, so we'll get green lights sooner or later.
So we drop another car. We drop enough, like they're saying, we'll get a longer on the back half of the race and just have to suffer through the first half.
Full course yellow. Pits are open.
While getting good practice with restarts here in this car. Let's take positive and try to learn something out of it. As I said, I don't think anybody's going to be foolish enough to go to pit road. And you got people trying to fake each other out. So we'll ride under caution for another 2 or 3 laps or so. This race should have only taken 44 minutes had we stayed green. But alas, we have not. We have run a lap and a half, lap and 2/3, something like that, under green so far, out of the 7 that have been completed. Qualifying, it's looking like it was going to matter even more. Guess we'll see. That's right. Part of me wants to stop at lap 35, 36 for under caution just to give myself more laps to work through the field, and part of me doesn't because then it'll be a full fuel run and I don't want to have to drive conservatively to wear the tires out, and when you're in the back you're just trying to get by people and move through, so I don't know. We'll evaluate that. As we get there, we're not even remotely close to that point yet. Key bar's dropping just slightly. Keep an eye on that. Hopefully it's nothing to be worried about too much. I like seeing, there we go, 100, 100. Let's hope it stays like that. My lag's always pretty much at 66.
We're under caution. Pits closed.
So we'll get going. 70 left in the race. I would be 100% fine with an 11th place finish in this one. You know, it's behind where I'm supposed to finish. My iRating does not reflect my relative skill in this car. I am far, far, far slower in this car than what my iRating would suggest. So I was kind of hoping that we got some long green flag runs and that I learned enough to try to keep the car drivable on the back half of the runs, that I could, you know, try to get by some people with that little bit of skill and not finish dead last. Kind of going for a little bit of better performance than at Homestead a few weeks ago, but I don't know, we'll just see how it goes.
Pace car is out. Pits are closed.
Not sure why the 15 is lining up low. It's going to end up high. We'll have the 5 behind us. We'll be behind the 20 again. So cross the line to get the one to go. People just having fun because they're bored. Tired of I-pacing. Which I can understand.
Pace car's coming in this lap.
So we'll rack this up and try it again for a third time. Maybe third time's the charm that we can finally get some green flag laps in. Like I said, I think we've only dropped one more car. Yeah. So we're down to 26 out of the initial 30 that were in the race. Again, the same thing, just to try to not spin the tires on the restart. Maybe try to go a little bit quick on the restart, stay a little bit closer to the front of the field. But I just have to drive within what my skills are going to allow in the race. Rather go slow, give up time, and keep it going in the right direction than push it trying to gain a couple tenths and loop it and compromise somebody else's race or take myself out. I almost feel like in a way some people could be using first gear. I'm just sticking into second. It's hard enough for me to restart that. Ready to go.
Green flag, we're racing.
15 did not have a very good restart.
10th position.
So it picks us up one spot. 22's up high. 15 comes flying in much faster through the corner than I am. So if he wants to try to take the spot away, I will give it to him here in 3.
Coming up low side.
Not gonna fight
Still there.
this early
Clear
on.
side.
Perfectly fine with sitting in 11th.
New fastest lap for Pegleg, 32.122. P11.
Yeah,
Coming up on rear.
I'm way slower into the corners.
Still there.
Guys around me, the 5 was almost
He's
in
still
my
there.
back end because I was so slow in the corner.
Keep it together. Hold your line.
Just make contact. Out of
Still
2,
there.
I don't know if he came down off the wall or if I came up a little bit.
Still there.
He's gonna go by me on the
Keep it
outside,
steady, still there.
which tells you how slow I am.
Hold your line. He's still there.
The leader has just done a 30.36.
Not really
Still
looking
there.
to drag race
12.
him,
Outside line's clear.
especially when we got a nice gap back to the 23 and I get loose in the middle of 1. So I'll wave bye-bye to the rest of the field up ahead. Like I said, the only thing I can hope is that I'm better than some of the slowest guys in the field. And I can have a little bit of tire life left by the end of the run, especially on the right rear. Drive off will be absolutely key, I think, later on in the run. That goes for blink. Try Try to late apex so I don't have too much wheel input with how loose it is, but I have a problem with also not cutting it down low enough either. And you can just see how much faster everybody is driving
The
it
gap
into the
ahead is
corners,
now
which is
0.8.
probably not a bad move because it'll wear out the right front a little bit. Kind of helps save the right rear. It's just, I don't have the skills this week to be able to do that. 18's really been picking up time. Just see how much
One
faster
car
he drives it, and I felt like I overdrove one really
Still
bad.
there.
So we're just gonna let the
Still
18
there.
go.
Clear low.
Not even gonna challenge. Just hope that if we stay green, they come back to me later on. If not, then they deserve to be faster than me and ahead of me. Field's really kind of gapped out here in the middle part of the pack. And up front, it's
V13.
starting to spread out a little bit. 5's ripping the wall. 23 and the 26 lining up to get by me. And a bit of a gap back to the 19 behind them. So if they want to keep pushing it, I'll probably just let them by, since we got a gap behind. Team looks slightly loose off of turn 4. Starting to get some green flag laps in though. Six was kind of trying to look low on the 23 there. Not quite there yet. Gotta watch that rotation in the middle of 3 and 4 to not over-rotate the car. All of that will continue to wear the right rear out and make it harder to drive as the run goes on. 3 almost sent it in outside of me in 1. Just looking for consistent laps. Preferably not getting pile driven into by somebody. Really loose off of turn 4. He's all over the track trying to save the
Last
thing.
lap time was at 31.
Still all over the track. 26 is going to go by him on the outside. He's going to continue to
The
fall.
gap in front is now 1.32.
Starting to work his way up through a couple more cars.
Okay, Jake. Lap times are pretty
Not
consistent.
that I'm very quick at all on either side. I feel like I can kind of consistently hit the line I'm going for. Not consistently, but I can hit more often in 1 and 2 than I do in 3 and 4.
V13.
Really struggle bad in 3 and 4. I've been really trying to make sure to watch throttle application to work on not spinning the right rear, as well as using smaller wheel inputs and corrections to try to keep from having the car snap too much in one direction or the
car in
other.
front of us is now Howell.
And I'm on 16 to 1, so it's even less sensitive than like 10 to 1 or 12 to 1 would be, but things I really tried to focus in practice. I think I'll help make it a little bit more drivable for me. See if I can execute them. I'm sitting 2 seconds
That
back.
lap
I know I'm
was at
holding up the 26.
31.73.
23's rebounding, trying to collect back up. Even the 19 and the 11 are starting to catch up. See, they're all 10th and a half faster than me. Like I said, I'm really banking on some of these guys end up overdriving it, and you don't have the pace later on in the run, and I can not fall off quite as bad. This race is just about surviving, trying to salvage something, and continue learning each and every week. Maybe by the end of the season I'll feel a little more competitive in this series. When the car drops and I overdrive 3 and 4, too much wheel trying to get it to the bottom. Starting lap 25 now, so
The lap time was
shake out the early race cautions
31.83.
and we start to get a bit of a better run in. I don't know if those cars had wrecks or what happened. Drop another driver. Which is nice because that's technically less spots I can lose. I feel like I'm slowly catching
lap
in
was
on
at
the few
32.00.
cars up ahead. 23's falling back a little bit. 11's kind of keeping pace. I got way too loose there and just cut it down too hard, too much throttle. There's deal too much throttle and too much wheel input out of 4. Did that a lot in practice. More guys running the top than I expected. Partially understand it given how loose this setup is. Just, I'm never very good at the top. I'm struggling to get it down to the bottom as it is. It's another 3 and 4 that I overshot. Might have a couple spots potentially to gain here as I overdrive 1 and 2 now. 6 is hanging back. 11 got by the 23. 11's closing up. Drove 3 and 4 again.
Okay, Jake, the next car is Howell.
And you can see how far ahead of the 18 the 5's pulled, and then the leaders are completely gone. Like, I don't think it's inconceivable that I can end up not on the lead lap if we stay green the rest of the way. Maybe that should just be my goal, is try to stay on the lead lap by the end of it.
That was 32.13.
11 is now in sight in the mirror. It's 1.1, 23 is falling way back, 28's trying to work by him. They're almost 3 seconds back. Overdrive 3 and get on the throttle too early. 15's going for a slide in the middle of the corner as well. Weight on it, off throttle just a little bit more in the corners as the tires start to wear. I think I'm going to stick with my just split the race in half strategy. Unless all of a sudden, you know, around 35, 36 people start pitting. So I'm willing to bet we're going to end up with a caution before too long, because the tires will start falling off. As I drag the wall like
Coming up on the inside.
just trying to keep it
There
there.
inside.
Alright, look at the 11 by.
You got one
I
on the
believe I
inside.
did that.
Inside
11
clear.
really drove it in hard. You can kind of hear him slide it a little bit. Didn't want to pull it down, get into anybody. Give up a couple spots to keep it clean. Thankfully, not a 2X, and
15th place.
I don't think it really messed with
33.29.
aero or suspension too much. I think we can still walking going on by the 18
but I honestly, with a 15, I don't honestly know though if that was a block or if that was him getting on the throttle too hard to try to stay in front and it kicking left, getting loose. 18 gets by him. 26 and the 11 are gonna try to line up the pass. Let's see if I can get there. Thank the Lord for the massive gap behind. It's the only thing that kept me from falling even further back after dragging the wall there. Well, I feel like I'm not as worse off on tires compared to some of these guys. So, not the worst driver out on track, which makes me feel a little bit better. Don't know if the 11 grab tires or just grab fuel. You hit it under the first caution. It's like guessing it was probably just fuel only. Tries to drive by the 26 on the outside. 26 is really loose now, so we're going to try to do the same thing.
He's still there. He's still there. They're low.
Alright, so I get back one of the spot that I lost after dragging the wall. I think I should just be able to follow the 11 through. Maybe a little bit, we'll get to the 15. 18's pulled away from the 15. It's kind of separated up there a little more. Yeah, I think we're probably going to go for lap 41, 42, something like that. Unless I hear everybody start pitting earlier than that. So everybody's going to need one stop. One calls out a wreck. No caution yet. We stay green.
That lap time was 32.69.
26 definitely drives it in harder. Sometimes he makes it stick, sometimes he ends up falling back a little bit as he's driving in harder. 15's all over. I want to figure out where the 11's going to go to get by him. The 15's kind of been scaring me. Drove by on the outside, which might not be the
lap time
worst
was
idea.
32.72.
Now the 15 overdrives it really bad, goes high, so we're going to try to cut underneath him.
On your right. Hold your line. Clear high.
Alright, there we go. Back to 13th. Looked like the 15 for a second was going to get into the back of me and put me around, but okay, I got a little too much throttle there before I lost it a little bit. 22's way up. He's your 10th place car. The 15 did drive it into the back of me. Thankfully, it was just a light tap, so it didn't upset the car at all. And he's driving in really deep, which is killing his runoff. There, he sends it again, so we're going to stay high. Should be able to hopefully build enough of a gap this time in the one, not have to be close enough. 26 is going to go side by side with him. Start finish line, they're both kind of on the edge of control.
All right, Jake, we're halfway through. We think about 11 laps of fuel left. You've just done a 32.73.
Let's see if people start coming to pit road or they stay on track. It's like nobody on pit road yet.
That last lap was a 32.64. That's good consistency. Keep it up.
Look, I'm slowly catching up to the 18, but still quite a bit back. Running about the same pace as the 11 as I drive 3 and 4
Got a
again.
full course caution.
Alright.
Watch out.
Eh,
Wow, that wasn't an intentional yellow or anything.
pit strategy
Pace car
goes
is
out the
Line
window.
up single file behind car number 11.
Everybody's
Caution.
all in this
It's
lap.
closed.
So stupid. Which car did it?
No idea, but I will find out. Lap 23.
I think it's funny how
Next stop on the 8th.
everybody's just automatically assuming that somebody intentionally wrecked for the caution up front. When, you know, you gotta understand the strength of field and the car's wearing out the tires, especially the right rear. It's also very easy for somebody to just lose it off the corner. It's not out of the realm that it was not an intentional wreck, it was just loss of control because, you know, inexperience and lack of skill. It's certainly very possible. So
Full
I'm
course
not
yellow.
gonna
Pits are open.
call for anything. Get caught up, just grab our pit stop. Running 13th where I started. Pretty happy with that. See how bad I hurt the tires and re-rack for hopefully what's gonna be basically the same length of run.
The leader's pitting now. Look out for the pit speed limit. Pit lane speed limit is 45.
I don't any question
miles per
everybody
hour.
on pit road. We stay green, this will be the only stop.
Box in. 5,
Just cannot overshoot
Four.
the box.
3, 2, 1. Box now.
Tires were 76, 71. I think we might have gotten a spot. 11 gained, a couple spots. 2-1, looks like. We get by the 6 somehow, so I don't know if he... That's weird. Alright, I'll take that, so I think it might put us, like, 12th? Catching the 18, so the 11 jumped the 18 off pit road. He came in behind him, I believe. 22 was still there. Looks like he stays the same. 15 behind us. 28 jumps his way ahead of the 26.
Pits are open.
So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, look at the tires again. 252, 241. Slithered a little bit. I
The
gotta
leader,
work on that
Alexander, is pitting.
a little bit more. We have one car stay out. So, a little bit more to do this run. If we stay green the rest of the way to work on the right rear to make it a little bit drivable, but not completely unhappy with that. Obviously, all those caution laps at the beginning certainly helped things. Yes, that was a 24, which is still the all-white car, the only car to not load the paint yet. I think we'll be 12th, I want to say, once we get the one to go. Not sure what happened to 6th. I'll say lost a spot somehow on pit road. No. I don't know. Got by the 6. They were ahead. That put me 12th because I came in 13th. No, that is right, because 24 stayed out, and yeah, so 12th. 12th will be right. Gonna start on the outside. First time today, and I don't know, I trust the 11. I think he's been pretty good. 18's got some right front damage, as you can see. 22
Full course yellow.
will be on the
Pits are
inside.
open.
11 goes for a little bit of blink. I have the 28 behind me, so I'll have to make note of that. Yeah, I don't know if the 18 got into somebody or got into the wall, but you can definitely see a little bit of right front damage. He peels off and goes to pit road, so we're going to line up 11th. And we'll be behind the 22. But the 22's been in front of me the entire way, so
Okay, Jake, get ready. Race will resume at the end of
watch
this lap.
for that. It's not going to change anything Still the same car behind me. So this same spot that I restarted in the last restart on lap 13 or whatever it was. Well, let's just see if we can stay green. 33 laps to settle it. Be fun to stay green, go the rest of the way. Got a good green flag run in there after getting those first couple cautions out of the way, so that was fun. See if we can do the same thing. Like I said, I just top 15 I'll be happy with. If I can finish 13, do something similar to what I was doing where, yeah, I fell back at the beginning of the run, but then kind of settled and picked up a spot or two off of tire wear, I will be, that'll make me really happy. Okay with that. Few extra laps of fuel left, so should be good to go. Ready to go here. Pace car's gonna be pulling off. See if we get quick cautions again at the start of the race, or if we get into a run and get settled out.
Green, 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 let's go.
Not the best restart. Not
Right side.
terrible.
Still there.
15 to the outside.
Keep it steady, still there.
6 is also going to look to go to
Still
the
there.
outside.
He's still there. Keep digging.
Drop
Clear
another
line.
car.
Coming up on your. Keep it together. Hold your line.
Yeah, no,
Still there.
not too worried about giving up a couple
Still
spots
there.
here at the beginning of the run. I
Clear.
think these guys are going to overdrive it. I can grab spots later on. Got some smoke. Somebody must have had problems going into one, but
E13.
kept us green, so now it's time to settle into the run. 11 gets by the 22. 15's working by him. Then we're going to go side by side down the middle of the backstretch up ahead. Hopefully that caution also gives him the opportunity to hopefully stay on the lead lap. 22 really slow on the outside.
Fastest lap for Miller, 30.31.
Yeah, that 30.31 I couldn't even think about in qualifying, let alone in race trim. That's funny. That's how slow I am. Waiting for the 28 to pile into me. I'm just trying to stay just enough ahead of them. I don't want to push the pace too fast. Also, don't mind trying to catch the 22 and get by him.
Miller, 30.26.
Yeah, I know I'm way off the pace. I'm just surviving and trying to enjoy it. Pulling away a little bit from the 28. 6 is going to be working his way back up through the field. Overdrove 3 again. 6 getting a little loose up ahead. 6 dives to the inside of the 28. Let's see if I can find a way to get the 6 by me without
You've just done a 31.1.
losing time to the 28. It's probably going to be the best way to do it right
He's
here.
still there.
Alright.
Inside clear.
That was about the best way I could do that. Go 6. Drop another car.
The next car
Hey, maybe
is
at this
Leroy.
rate, if we keep dropping this many cars, then 15th will be the last car on the track, and I can just guarantee a top half finish.
14th. That lap time was 31.27.
22 still seems to be a bit off the pace. I don't know. Might have a shot at the 30s trying to work to the inside of the 28. Turn 2. They make a little bit of contact down the backstretch, but keep it going. I don't want any part of those shenanigans if he gets to me. I know I am going the wrong way, but like I said, I think if we can stay green, have a shot to pick up a couple spots out of it later on. I understand that most of these guys are probably going to be overdriving it. And you can see how much faster when they're 7, 8, 9 tenths faster, the leaders are just going to absolutely pull away. It is a lot for me to aspire to, I suppose.
You've just done a 31.20.
25 to go this time by.
Okay, Jake, that's good consistency. Keep it up.
Still can't even catch up to anybody in front, but like I said, my hope is that
A couple of those cars will fall off similar to what they did in the last run, and I'll be able to catch them as long as I don't drop too many spots. 22 tags the wall out of 4. Already has separated himself from the 28. 13's working on. 30's diving in hard, so make note of that. This time into 3 that he might try to get underneath me. It's a bad exit out of 2 though. There comes the dive from
Line, you got one.
way, way away. Which is,
Still there.
I don't know if it's so much dive as he is just
Still
driving the entries a
there on
lot
the
harder,
inside.
but I don't think it's going to do his tires any favors.
Your lap time was 31.4.
Hard low.
Just have to try to recognize where
still there.
everybody's at. What I
Still
do to avoid getting hit by them and outlast them.
He's still there.
The longer I run side by side with them, the more it's going to
Still
cost me
there.
time. Everybody up front, so we're going to try to get him by.
Clear inside.
And then just sit.
Okay, Jake, the next car is
If he ends up
lined up.
losing it, I'll get by him. If not, no big deal. It's back to 15th.
P15.
6
You've just done
goes
a
up into the wall.
31.68.
15 follows him up there. I don't know if the 6 got loose and took him up into the wall. That's slower up ahead. Allows the 26 by. Damage probably shouldn't be too bad on those two. Tires are going to be hot and slick for a little bit. Closing in on 20 to go. Yeah, you can see with the 30 driving in and harder, entering low, and then coming down, that's really going to kill those tires as the run goes. It's really going to kill him later on, so as long as he doesn't build up too big of a gap, I would expect I can get back to him by the end of the race. Not sooner given the run I just got off of 4 on him. It's really bad when the 6 and the 15 slide up, get the outside wall, and they're still pulling away from me. Just trying to stick to my late apex, but not over rotating it. All that'll help save the tires and keep the pace up.
You've just done a 31.54.
Overdrive 3 again. Still getting
Time's
runs
pretty
on the
consistent.
30 though. I think it's only a matter of a few laps before we're able to get back underneath him. He's starting to fall off from the 22. He's already starting to feel the effects of how he was driving the corner. We're pulling away from the 28 behind, so don't have pressure that way. Looks like we're starting to catch up to the 6 and the 15 as well. I don't think the 13th is out of the realm of possibility.
Inside.
We'll try to work by the 30 on the
Still there.
outside.
Yeah, 31.74.
Inside's clear.
Try to work with a crossover if I can.
P15.
He keeps
Low
it on the
side, you got
bottom.
one. Still there. Still there.
Give him
He's still
extra
there.
room on the bottom.
Still there. Hold your line. Keep it steady. Still there.
Slowly trying to get to him. It's costing me time to everybody up
there.
front, but one spot
there.
at a time right now.
Still there. He's still there.
Can't tell if he got loose underneath.
They're low.
Get the run, get by him now. So drew the 28 in. There he comes, driving it hard on the inside
Next
again.
car is Howell.
Clear inside.
Yeah, he's so hard on the entries compared to what he needs to be. 22 gets by the 15. He's going to start working on the 6.
P14.
About a second and a half back of this next group of 3, which might be the only spots I can get, although the 26 is starting to fall off a little bit, so I guess a top 10 is not completely out of the realm of possibility. Especially with 15 laps to go, though, that's going to be pretty tough to make up. Honestly, I'm running inside of where I wanted to. So, just keep it underneath me, because the 6 looks like he's struggling. I can just keep it clean. Be big enough. Kind of backed it off a little bit. Once I got by the 30, he's caught back up. Still catching group ahead. And I think I'll still be able to pull away from the 30. He's going to continue to struggle.
Your last lap time was at
Just have to watch for
32.17.
dives into the corner. Which, like I said, aren't really intentional. They're just, he's just driving the entry so hard, which in theory is not bad, since it would wear out the right front a little bit more and keep the rear balanced a little bit better, but I think he's overdoing it personally. And it's going to end up hurting him too much in the long run. Closing in 15, the 22, and the 6. We're now within a second of them. '28's working the outside of the 30.
Up in front is now
28's
0.69.
rebounded better than I expected him to. He was a little bit worse the last run. Thought I'd be pulling away from him. Overdrive 3 again. But there's still 12 to go, so 28 can still fall back. 22's continuing to work the inside on the 6 as they go into 1. 15 sliding up. 22 gets loose off of turn 2. Allow the 6 momentum on the outside. End up dragging the 28 through with me on this. 22 got loose on the inside there in 4, so it allowed the 6 back by him.
P14.
So they're going to single file it back up. 6 is going to continue to go to the top side. 22 is kind of running a line similar to I am. Get a really good run on the 15 that time off the 2. Look to the inside here. 3 as he throws
On
a
your
block.
Right side.
I'm going to go with
There,
that
right.
likely was a block. So I don't feel bad that he made contact with this left rear. So all of a sudden he just darted left. And that was far enough down the straightaway that I don't think that was getting loose, but I don't know. That was,
13th place.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure what that was. We can look at the replay, see the in-car and see if he turned it left, although he gets almost into the wall. 28 will go to battle with him. Hopefully that'll buy me a gap behind. And I'm just going to let the 22 and the 6 battle it out. Should hopefully allow me to close in on them. 9 to go. 6 really bad off the turn. 4,
Yeah, on right
we're just
side.
going to drive by
Clear
easily.
line.
P12. You've just done a
Yeah!
128.
That was about the easiest spot I was going to get. Take that. Sounding exciting, barely fighting for just outside the top 10, but given how bad I am at this car, I'm really happy to at least be doing this. I can even have a shot to finish remotely close to where I was supposed to. 22 gets loose off of 4. And we are 2 seconds back of the 26.
Your lap time was at 32.
Don't think I'll be able to close up unless he has a big issue. Or I have the issue. Yeah, everybody's fighting the warm tires now. 6, 28, 15 have all fallen way back. It's just easy steering and throttle applications. That's going to be the key. I know I'm in a better spot compared to the 22. Being patient with it.
Right side. Outside line's clear.
Force him to the top. I don't think he's quite as good or quite as comfortable there, but we'll see what he does off it too. Maybe he is better there. I rotated a little too much. Six to go this time by. Definitely feel like I've got the potential to get by the 22. I think that's probably the only spot I'm going to grab.
Leroy behind is now 1.06. That lap was at 32.39.
My opinion, overdrove it. I don't think that was an intentional outside line. Yeah. Definitely feel like I have the advantage compared to him, so
P12.
it's just a matter of making it stick. Working underneath him, being a little patient with it. He's got no shot at the 26. He's just too far ahead, not enough laps.
32.
Only 5 to go.
Okay, Jake. Lap times are pretty consistent.
I'm going to try to force it.
Coming up on your...
Hopefully we can
together,
clear
hold
him
your line.
in 3.
Clear up high.
So that was about the best run off of 2 I was going to get.
Push, push, push. We can get this guy.
Alright, just worried that 22 is going to get a better entry into 3 and be able to cross over and get underneath me, but let's just try to set sail, finish the last 4 laps off clean, see if I can grab a 11th place finish. Which will definitely feel like a victory for me in these cars, even though I'm like half a lap, if not more, down to the leader. Small baby steps is what I'm going for in this series. Two, it's looking like he was going to drive underneath me, kind of used a little too much throttle. Did not mean to cut down. Kind of stopped his momentum, but that was not an intentional block. Probably could have stayed lane up and still been okay. Catching up to the 26, just not enough laps left.
2 laps remaining.
2 to go.
That lap was at 32.
Like I said, I'm going to need him to grab the wall or have a serious loop off the corner or something. And I still need to do everything perfectly to stay in front. 22 ran that outside line that time, gets a better run down the backstretch. Just trying to make the outside line work. So, length is not set in stone yet. White flag.
P11. White flag.
So frustrating, I feel like. Could have had a top 10 if we had a few more laps. Just obviously was not fast enough on the restarts. 22 grabs the wall out of 2, so that's pretty much going to settle that battle. As I keep it clean through 3 and 4. Smoke. Oh, we can grab the top 10. The 1 had an issue. Holy cow. We get a top 10 because of an issue between, I'm guessing, the 3 and the 1. Oh my word. I want to check and see what happened on the replay to cause that. Normally I don't look at all the wrecks, but that one I want to see what happened.
Close one, 6. Good racing.
Wow. Free spots. I'm not too prideful to take that, so. Hey, got those cautions out early. At least it got clean for vast majority of the race. Made it a lot of fun.
I earned that.
Let's get the overlay off. See what happened. Tires that run were 76, 72, so pretty much the same thing. A little bit warmer. Felt like I managed that a little bit better than that first long run. Just needed like probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 more laps and might have been able to get to the 26.
Alright, so let's look at what happened to the 1 off the finish. So he's catching to the 3. 20, man, drove a great race. So the 1 drives into the back of the 3. He's a little bit quicker, it looks like. He's just getting on the throttle. Middle of 1 and 2 a lot better, just drives into his left rear. 3's gonna throw a block now down the back stretch. These guys are good enough that those are blocks being thrown. And he kind of throws a little bit of block. 1 has almost the same thing happen. 1 and 2 gets into him. So that's where he spins, and then see what happens to the 3 up ahead. Is that really a block, though? I don't know. I mean, he gets a little loose, kind of turns down. That's hard to say what that is. So he's slow. Here comes the 20, and who is that? That was the 4. So let's see what these guys do. So 4's working the inside of the 20. They just kind of thread the needle. It's white flag, obviously. They just... The 3, I think, tried the block to keep the win, and they both just stuck it without the track, and 20 comes away with the win. 3 gets the 3rd, I think. Now the 4 gets... 4 gets 2nd. 2nd was able to get, or the 2 was able to get by the 3. So, yeah, that was really fortunate break for me. It's allowed me to grab a 10th place finish. I don't know. I mean, I guess last lap you knew what you knew. I don't know. I get what the 3 was doing. I don't think that was
3, where did you want me to go, though?
a massive block. I think he threw a bigger block in the quad oval. That one I think was a lot more of a bigger block than the deal in 3 and 4 with the 1. And I think the 1 definitely caused the contact in 1 and 2. He just got on the throttle earlier and kind of drove into his left rear. Let's take a look at what happened with the 15 when we made contact with him. So, let's go back. Let's see here. Where did... Okay, so he's still 13th at this point. So we'll come back. Let's just start from here. I don't need to see what happened between him and the 6, so this was already after that fact. Alright. So yeah, let's watch this from my perspective. Back this up so we can get a better view of this. So, I get a really big run on him off of turn 2. Really, really big run. Gonna try to get to his inside going into 3. Yeah. Like, that car's there, and then that's just left. Like, that's not getting loose. That's definitely a block. So, and he throws it down, and I tried to lift. Like, I don't know. I mean, let's watch it from my end car again and see what it looks like. I think he just... Yeah, he gets too big of a block. Like, he just turns left to throw the block. I don't know. I don't feel completely bad for getting into him. Like, let's watch. The wheel is somewhere out here. Maybe he did get loose, because that wheel never really cranked left. Alright, I mean, it's such a late move that... So without having the telemetry, like, he's loose off the corner. I don't know, that's so hard. Like, I can't even call that an intentional block because you don't really see the wheel go left at all. But, like, the RPMs are staying pretty consistent. It's not like he's having to feather it and you're hearing the RPMs back and forth or really hearing any wheel spin. Like, that car seems fairly balanced. He does a great job to save it. It was such a quick motion that I tried to check up for it that I don't know what I was supposed to do to avoid it. So You guys can let me know what you think. Do you call it a block? Do you call it just getting loose and tires being worn at the end of the run? Do you think there's anything I could have done differently to avoid him and not even make contact and get him loose? I don't know. I'm sure he's probably not happy with me, but I don't, in car in race, given my skill set, I don't know how much different I could have done. So regardless, I probably was going to get by him. I wanted to do it cleanly, obviously, but it is what it is. Like I said, I'll take the free spot, finish 10th. Would have been perfectly fine with an 11th place finish as well. So managed that race about as best as I was going to be able to do. Obviously, like so much to learn, but overall, fairly happy with that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. At least it was a lot cleaner than Richmond was after what was not looking like a promising start. So love to hear from you guys. Keep trying to improve in these. And until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.